How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. You often hear in quitting drinking alcohol circles a lot of people talking about enablers. You know, this person is an enabler, that person is an enabler. You're enabling this behavior in other people, right? When you hear people talking about an intervention, they say, you know, this person is enabling that behavior and that person is enabling. Look, at the end of the day, let's get real here. The biggest enabler of any in any drinker's life is themselves. You know, they're the ones that enable everything. It's not the environment, it's not other people, it's not the alcohol, it's themselves. You know, everything else is an excuse. You know, you can blame other people and say, well, or not blame. You know, just you can pretend that other people are the ones that are causing you problems and the ones that are doing this to you, and if it wasn't for this person or that person or what they were doing or what they were saying to you, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. Bullshit, right? If you weren't in the environment that you were in, you wouldn't be doing this. You know, I don't know, it's tougher in some environments, right? It's tougher to stay sane and to keep going and to keep pushing yourself forwards. It's a lot tougher around certain people to do that, you know. But if you go down the road of drinking alcohol, right? If you go down the road of taking any other drug, then your chances of getting away from that person or changing your environment or changing anything about the life that, you know, is apparently causing you to do this to yourself, right, are getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer, right? It's what Alan Carr talks about when he talks about this slippery slope into the pitcher plant. You know, this is part of that process. We use alcohol as a tool to sort of overcome problems in our lives, but we're never overcoming anything with it. All we're doing is we're sucking ourselves deeper and deeper into the quicksand of the alcohol life. So, you know, you enable all this kind of shit. You enable yourself through your drinking, through your excuses, and through the behavior. You know, you enable yourself with the excuses of why you drink and why you don't stop drinking. You know, the only person who ever puts this stuff into your mouth is you, right? The only person who can ever stop putting this stuff into your mouth is you. So you are your biggest enabler. You know what I mean? You know, this enabling thing of this person is enabling this other person, or this person is causing you to drink. These people have their own lives, you know, their own problems. You know, they have their own pictures of the world and their own way of dealing with life. It's not your thing. You know, they're not responsible for you, no matter how close they are to you. You know, if they're your parents or your siblings, your husband or your wife, they're not responsible for you. You know, you're responsible for your own actions. You know, it all boils down to the same. You and your responsibility, your ability to respond. And it's almost, I just want to show you this. These are what they call processional caterpillars. You can see them moving across the track now. And they just follow each other. That's like our society. One following another one, following another one. And you find them sometimes, these processional caterpillars, and they're just going around in circles. And what's happened is that the leader of the group has caught up with the back of the group. He's gone around in circles and he's attached himself to the back of the other one. And these caterpillars will do this until the day that they die. And you'll see them, you know, just a whole ring of them just dead on the ground, you know. Or a whole pile of them where they've lost direction altogether and they're just in a big pile on the ground, all without direction. That's one of the best sort of, what would you call it, is a simile for an alcohol user. you know, for our society in general as alcohol users. It's just amazing. We follow the herd and we do the same thing and we keep doing the same thing. We follow the same path and we're like that perpetually spinning circle, or the heap of caterpillars just waiting to die, doing the same fucking shit, poisoning ourselves, no direction. It's sad. You only get out of that by being an individual, being responsible. So this whole video is about is taking responsibility for your actions. You know, you were responsible, fair enough, for your children until they grow to a certain age, but then they get their own responsibility. And however much, you know, my son has a daughter now, and you know, it's wonderful, but I see the change in him. You know, it is like a light switch moment in a person's life when they have a child, and you're all of a sudden responsible for this young, defenseless baby, and that's proper responsibility in a person's life. You know, when you're a baby like that, you've got nobody to. You've got no responsibility for yourself. You can't respond for yourself. You know, you gradually develop your responses as you grow older. You know, you gradually develop these things about yourself, and your ability to respond to different situations develops. But as a fully grown, long pants wearing human being, you are responsible for everything that you do in life, right? You're responsible for the food and drink that you put into your body, you know, how you treat your body, how you treat your mind over the years, all of these things, and you've got nobody else to blame but yourself. If you have a bad behavior that you want to get rid of in your life, don't look outside of yourself. You know, you are your biggest enabler. You're the biggest, you know, the biggest excuse maker. You're the biggest drinker, the biggest whatever it is in your life. You are the person that has the ability to either do it to yourself or not to do it to yourself, right? You know, don't make excuses. Don't pass the buck. Don't pass the blame to anyone else, because there is no one to pass the blame to. It's all you. It doesn't matter about your upbringing, about your parents or your brothers or sisters or your friends or your environment. It doesn't matter about any of that, because all of that you can change. You know, all of that you can change. And at the end of the day, it all boils down to the one single thing. If you want to stop drinking alcohol, you simply don't put the stuff into your mouth anymore. It's as simple as that. And there is no excuse. It makes no difference, you know, about whether this person said that to you or did that to you, or what your past is or what your present is, or what you think your future is going to be, because none of that will change anything about this. The only thing that's going to change anything about the drinking is you not putting the stuff into your mouth. Everything else is an excuse. So stop making the excuses. You know, stop wondering why you're doing this. You know, why do you keep putting the stuff into your mouth? Stop psychoanalyzing everything or thinking into everything. You know, stop wondering why or if you should moderate or not moderate, whether you should quit or not quit. At the end of the day, it all boils down to the one thing: the alcohol going into your mouth. And that causes the behavior, causes the habits, it causes the rituals, it causes the problems. You know, if you try and put things off and say, well, you know, like, I'll try and moderate, then all you're doing is you're prolonging the misery, prolonging the suffering. You know, this is a drug we're talking about. It's not a piece of candy or you know, a 4-cheese pizza. This is a drug that, if you take this drug, it's going to act like a drug in your body. That's it, period. So stop putting it in. I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Stay safe. Keep the alcohol out of your mouth. Keep the alcohol out of your mouth. Don't put it in. you don't put it in, it can't have any effect on you. If you don't put it in, it won't do you any damage. If you don't put it in, you won't be addicted to the stuff. If you won't put it in, you'll have more money in your pocket, more health, better relationships. Onwards and upwards. Take care.